everyone, I'm Amber. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing Mother of the Bride. I know a lot of these movies came out a while ago, but like I said, I am behind. I have finally caught up. This is my last movie. And a lot of movies I was watching and then I did a review on them right away too. And then it delayed me on this. But here we are. So this starred Miranda Cosgrove and Brooke Shields. I personally, I liked it. I did. I think it was a take on Father of the Bride. I've only seen snippets of that, so I can't compare the two. I wish I could. But it was like a take on that, basically. Essentially, the Brooke Shields character is like a famous scientist. She has her own lab, and I believe it's in LA. And then her daughter is Miranda Cosgrove. I don't know, I would have to see what Miranda's father, because she's not adopted. And was she adopted? No, she wasn't adopted. I think the dad died, and then the dad died, and then the mom character was sad for a very long time. But this is later when the daughter is getting married, and it turns out that the person that she's marrying, her father dated the mom way back in college. And they had a thing for a long time. They were potentially gonna get married, and then he kind of walked out on her. They weren't engaged or anything. He wanted to marry her, but he didn't think he was good enough for her because she was doing so well and he wasn't. And then eventually he ended up doing well for himself. He's a very wealthy individual. He has a big company and lots of money, and his son is wealthy as well. And they met through the girl played by Miranda, her job or her internship or something like that abroad. And then he never met her mom, the fiance, until they were engaged. And then she was like, "Oh, you remember that one guy?" Because he was apparently helping her out with her business. She's like, "Oh, we're engaged now." And they make it seem like the mom is not going to be okay with it. And of course, I think she reacted how you would expect a mom who just found out, that her daughter was dating someone and now is getting married. I expected her to be, because they made her seem like, "Oh, we're going to tell my mom." My mom. And no, she was very understanding of it. She did not disapprove of him at all. She only said, be careful of him because of how his father was, and he has similar traits, And so I don't think that was really that unjustifiable. Maybe a little bit, but honestly, she was pretty much rolling with it. When they go to the resort or the hotel that they're staying at, that's when they run into each other again. First, her cousin, they all went to college. It was a big group of them. Her cousin runs into the uncle of the fiance, and they know each other. And then it's another friend, and they know each other. So the dad is there because they're friends with the dad, and that was kind of their group that kind of isolated because they're related. And then it was the other two, and then they run into each other, and it was like, hello. And Miranda Cosgrove's character, I can't remember the names, I'm so sorry, I'm terrible with names, as you know. She is basically doing the wedding is part of this marketing campaign, and so she's on social media, she's a influencer, and people look at her stuff, and she makes money that way. And so a bunch of brands and stuff are involved in the wedding, and they're making it a particular way, and she's not having the time really for her mom, which is really sad, because she, again, makes her mom seem like this, scary, intimidating person, but she loves her, and the mom really cares about her and is just kind of being like, okay, if it makes you happy, and kind of giving her some advice, but at the same time, like, giving her space to figure it out, which I thought was very, like, mature of her mom, and like a really good relationship that she had. And she's just like, no, you're wrong, and blah blah this and blah blah that, and she's like, okay. And like the fact that she's not giving her time, and her mom is just kind of like exploring, and then also they're going on weird adventures with, like, because they keep encountering the ex-boyfriend and the group, and then they, like, they kind of reminisce and they kind of have fun, and then or they try to avoid each other, and then they end up hanging out, and it's just like, you're not really avoiding him, but okay. She doesn't do, I'm like, I see it. They're trying to avoid each other, but it's not happening. They could run away, they could be like, nah, but then they're just like, oh, we're here, okay, fine, let's go hang out. And I didn't really see romance between them. I just saw more of like an old friendship, and it was kind of awkward. Like, it was really weird to it's hard to describe. It's like they were in a relationship. It felt like they were in a relationship, and now, like, they're just reminiscing and they're becoming friends again. That's what it felt like. Not that they were falling in love again. Not until the scene in the island where they were stuck. That is the only reason, like, everything that happened there it made it seem now, okay, like, they're coming together, they're getting together again. There was nothing before that made me feel like, oh, like, awkward romantic tension. I think they tried to make it that way, especially with the scene where she finds him, like, naked in the room. And I don't know why, with his brother, he would just show up naked in the room. But okay. So yeah. And then Miranda Cosgrove's character, she kind of learns the value of, like, connecting her family, and like connecting with her mom, and the idea of the family in the wedding, and like enjoying that time, and not being so hard, not being so much focused on work, and making it so hard for her to enjoy her marriage, and just enjoying it. And then I think she learned a lot more about her fiance. Like, we didn't really get too much of the fiance. We had more of, like, Brooke Shields and her ex-boyfriend, and them and their friendship, and with the group and everything, which was nice. It gave me kind of Zoe 101 vibes, weirdly enough. But we really didn't know anything about the boyfriend. And then when the mom kind of implies, like, he might be, like, the dad, and the daughter starts kind of seeing stuff and everything. Well, we don't know, like, how he was before, so why is she seeing this stuff now? Or is she barely realizing stuff about him? And that's the case, then why are you getting married? But clearly she loves him. They've been together for a while, so she should know these things. But him being, like, so, like, okay, we're gonna do this, we have to do this, and then, like, he just kind of kept playing along, and then, like, when she was just like, no, we're gonna do it our own way, the wedding, my mom is gonna make her speech, she's gonna wear whatever she wants, it doesn't have to be no brand designs. He's like, yes, and I'm like, you could have put your input in sooner, sir. Like, it just, he felt like he had no personality, and then suddenly when she brings up, oh, he could be like your dad, like, like his dad, and then he starts kind of acting that way all of a sudden, but not, like, in a bad way, just kind of like, oh, now he's cool and everything, and, like, wanting to be with the guys, and it's just like, we don't really know him, but at the same time, he didn't seem like that before, so I don't know. I thought it was a good movie. It was just an enjoyable kind of relaxation movie. It wasn't this amazing thing, like, people talk about, like, Father of the Bride, like, it's one of those nostalgic kind of movies that people love and always remember, and this is just kind of like, it was a thing, it was there, it was enjoyable. Would I watch it again? Yeah, I would watch it again, but it was that's really all it was. I think it's a good watch. I definitely recommend it, and I definitely laughed at some parts and found some parts enjoyable, and other parts I was just like, they're trying to make this into something that doesn't really seem like it. They could have tried harder. Oh, and then when he started like being on the phone randomly and saying, I can't live without you, and like that was so random. It was like his maid or his butleress or something. I don't know what, I'm sorry. And then like he was like, oh, she's just very like, she's just a certain way, that's just her personality, that I have to talk to her like that. And then the Brooke Shields lady was like, oh, he did it again, he's cheated on me, and then blah blah this and blah blah that. And I was just like, this is so random. Like, it could have been anything else that you could have added. It could have been like another ex from his past, his ex-wife, but his wife that she passed away. I think they both passed away, and they both grieved, and they both changed as individuals and grew into themselves, like, obviously, like, but it could have been anything else to jeopardize this potential romance that was happening, and that's what it was. And it was very strange and very weird, and it was like, okay. I loved her aunt, the daughter's aunt, Brooke Shields' sister in the movie. She was great. Was she her aunt? Yeah, I think she was her aunt. She was amazing. I loved her. She was like so much fun, and I think that if the movie was about her, I would have been much more entertained. I loved her as a character, but I think she would have been a very unique character, because it feels like this has been done before. I've seen too many movies where something like this happens. Like, I think there's just concepts that they keep recycling, and it's just like, okay, if it ain't broke. But yeah, I think it just would have been an interesting take, and I would have enjoyed it if it had been about kind of the aunt's character, and she's just very unique and different and quirky. Like, she's all those type of characters are always like the best friend. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all soon. Bye.